I'm gonna show you how to add animated digital fashion to your photo. If you follow me on Instagram or if you follow our design's Instagram, we posted something like this. It's more interesting than just putting a steel garment on the photo, but here you can see you have a lot of movement of your digital fashion garment, and it makes your garment look makes your digital fashion looks more interesting, I would say. And yeah, today I'm gonna show you how to do that. And the software we're using, I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, this tutorial demonstrates an overview of workflow. You can use alternative softwares to achieve the same result. So basically, the software I use is Blender. Of course, Blender, I create animations of the garment, simple garments, not a garment that's moving like catwalk, right? Simple garments like what I showed you earlier. And also, the second software I use is Pixelmator. If you joined me on the masterclass, the first session masterclass, how I apply digital fashion onto my photo, this is software I use alternatively compare with Photoshop. But if you know how to use Photoshop, you can definitely use the same software to achieve the same result. Basically, what we need to do is to separate the layers to have a background, and you have the person as well. And then the last software I use is some Final Cut Pro. Final Cut Pro is video editing software that I use on the Mac. But if you don't have Final Cut Pro, if you are into Adobe, so you can always use Premiere to edit video as well. And they have the same tools to help you to achieve basically the same result, right? And then, all right, so basically the logic is pretty much the same. You want to create 3 different layers. You have the basic layer, you have the the background, and you have a layer that with your model or your person in the photo, and in the middle it's like a sandwich, right? You can put your digital fashion behind your person. So you have background layer, animation layer, and a portrait overlay. And next, so we are going to talk about 3 simple steps as well. So you're gonna have a step 1, prepare your animation ready to edit. And then second, you need to prepare your images. You need to mask out the person. And then lastly, you're going to composite the videos together, put them like a sandwich, basically. Okay, the first step is to prepare the animation. If you know how to use Blender, I'm going to show you how I composite this green screen. Basically, green screen is basically you can always use the keyer in the video editing software to kind of mask out the green selections, and then you will have a moving animated video with transparent background. That's basically how you achieve a transparent background within your animation. And you can take a screenshot of this note selection here. Basically, you will need to create a composite nodes in the Blender, and I'm gonna show you now. So for example, I've created this animation. It's kind of like an animation that I used in transparent layers, something like this. So when you render out this animation, the wing kind of like a ink spread out, right? So you can create something like this, and you can also create something moving animation. For example, this pair of wing, you want them to be like moving like this. You can also create animation like that as well. That's not a problem at all. I'm gonna just quickly show you my my render view. And yeah, you will need to render out this animation with a transparent background. So what you need to do is go to render, to select transparent here, transparent, and just render out the animation like this. Render out, render animation. but I would just assume that you've already rendered out your animations in the transparent background. And what to do next is go to Compositing. You have Compositing tab here open, and you will need to create something like this, and we are going to create this together. So first of all, you will see here you will have image sequence node, and to add this you will need to select Shift A and search image. You just need to import all the images you render out. In this tab here, you can see I rendered out all of my image sequence on the transparent background, and you need to select all of them and just import into this image input node. That's okay. And then the next is to have a green screen image. So you're gonna create another image node, right? So you're gonna remix this two image node together. The green screen you can always create on Photoshop, or you can always download something from Google. Just search green screen and just create a little square and just put the screen inside there, and you will have a green screen basically. And now you will need to create another node called mix node. I'm gonna move this slightly out the way, and you'll create another mix node. So click search and search mix node. You have mix node here. So once you created your mix node, you will need to connect all the dots, right? So what I would do is, in order to create this kind of in order to put the green screen behind my Phoenix wings, you put alpha on the fact, alpha on the fact, and image here, and you will see, oh, the grain overlaid onto this wings. You will need to just change it a little bit, and you will see the green screen is underneath the wing. And then by default you will have this composite node, and alternatively you will need to add another viewer node. So by doing that, just click Shift A, search viewer, and you will have a viewer node, and you just need to put this input into the viewer so you can see it in the box. You know how it looks. And once everything is done, you can go ahead and render out this sequence as animation. So what I would do is I'll go to the render setting here, and I will go to the render setting here, and I'll go to file format, and I'll change to videos, and encoding here I'll change to maybe MP4 or MOV, that's fine, MPG4, that's fine. And you can change the video output quality to be good or lossless, something like that. And basically that's it, and that's everything. You just need to render out the animation. So the rendering process is fairly fast, because basically it would just overlay this grain layer onto this image. So go to render and render animation, and you will have something like this. Once you render out the animation, you will have something like this. Let me show you. So once you have your animation rendered out, you will have a video look like this. Okay, you can check everything looks fine. It looks amazing. Okay, that's good. So okay, so the first step is done, right? Prepare your animation is pretty much done. And the next what you need to do is to actually prepare your image ready to create the video. So the logic is basically to mask out this model, this person, into a separate layer, right, what I will do is to have this layer open in Pixelmator. But if you have Photoshop, if you are more confident in using Photoshop, you can always use Photoshop to do it as well. And Photoshop has the same tool to kind of like mask out the person. You can use free selection, something like this. But for Pixelmator, the reason why I use Pixelmator is so easy because you can select subjects. So basically, one click, it will automatically detect the subject, and it will mask out the person automatically, and it doesn't really. I don't really need to do much, and once it's done, I'll just copy this layer, copy and paste, and you have a separate layer doing happening here, and you just deselect, hide this layer or delete this layer. And what I would need to do is just to export this layer into my folder, right? Once you have your two layers ready, that's second step down, super easy, that's it. And then the last step will be the slightly more complicated step would be compositing your videos. If you don't know how to use video editing tools, I recommend you to go to YouTube to check maybe Final Cut Pro or maybe Premiere. You can just basically learn how the timeline works. And what we need to do is to drag these three files into the timeline. And then later on, I'm gonna show you how to distort the wings, because remember the wing we exported out is kind of like flat, right? But in order to put this on an angle, you will need to use the distort tool to distort the wing to look quite natural in the video, in the photo. And also another tool is called Keyer. Keyer basically in the video production you will use to drag this tool onto the video, and then it will automatically mask out the color you select. For example, green is the most color that you will be using in the video production, so we'll be masking out the green color in the video editing process. Okay, so let's just open Final Cut Pro. Okay, I have a Final Cut Pro here, and first of all, you want to make sure to create a new file, a new project with the correct ratio. So right now, let me just check what's the dimension. So it's 2108 by 2578. So I'm going to create a new project, and I'm going to create a custom canvas. So is it 2108, and this one is 2578. Okay, so now you have a kind of like vertical canvas, and what do you need to do? Super easy, just drag these two images into the timeline, and you have this timeline going on here. So I'm gonna make it slightly longer because it's gonna be a video, so I'm gonna make it maybe 15 seconds. 15 seconds, that's cool, perfect. And I'm going to put this masked out version on top of it, and 15 seconds as well. So now if I move it, you can see you have two layers, right? You have this person masked out, and you have a background layer. And the last step is to kind of just drag this wing into the timeline. Let's see. All right. So what I'm doing here, I'm just dragging this this animation in the middle, or like a sandwich in the middle of my mascot person and my background. So what I'm doing here, you can see I've added this layer in the photos. You know what? I'm actually gonna make it double. I'm gonna make it the wing spread out and it comes back in. So I'm going to copy this layer and I'm going to paste it. and I'm going to the time here, I'm gonna reverse the clip. So now when you see, it will come out and it will come back. Okay, is it working? It is working. It's a little bit slow though. We can kind of speed up a little bit. We're going to join them together, group them, and we're going to speed up a little bit. But this is all extra work. You don't have to do this if your animation is exactly what you wanted. But I'm going to make this fit to the time. Okay, back to business. We are done with this. So what we need to do is to actually find the keyer. So what I have this effects going on in this tab here, and in the effect you can go to the video here. Underneath you can search. What you will need to do is to simply search keyer, yeah, and you have the keyer here. And what you need to do is to simply drag the keyer onto the animation that we created. Drag the keyer here. See, once you drag the keyer on the animation, it will automatically mask out the grain area, and now it looks like we've almost there, right? We've almost there. But the thing is, this particular photo, it's got a little shadow here, and in order to create something more realistic, a more realistic effect, I would duplicate this layer. Actually, I would duplicate this layer and put it, double this layer again, right? And I'm going to reuse the distort tool to make this on the floor, so it looks quite realistic. Okay. If you know how to use photo editing softwares, you will know that you can create a different blend mode, and you will see, okay, you can create something, make it dark, and you will need to find the most realistic looking overlay effect onto the photo. And before I do that, I'm going to create this. I'm gonna change the color of it. So go to the color editing inspector. I'm going to make the color black and white like this, and then I'm going to apply the blend mode to make it more realistic when it's on the floor, on the rock. I forgot which one I used. Okay, and you can drag the opacity down a little bit, and here I'm going to make it distort a little bit more. And yeah, and for this wing on her, I'm going to use the distort tool. So go to distort, and I'm going to just drag the four corners to make it look realistic, like that, like this. And let's play back this video. Looks nice, but I think this shadow is too hard. I'm going to make the shadow more transparent, maybe like this. Nice. This is good. I mean, this is pretty much it. Only 3 simple steps. Render your animation, prepare your animation, and separate the layers of your main object. And then lastly, just composite the video together. And also, I'm gonna show a quick tip. If you know how to, if you wanna go ahead and use Final Cut Pro, and I have another tip I can show you, super easy. So for example, right, I have this template ready, ready to go. And for example, you have a new picture you wanna overlay. I'm gonna find another photo. Let me see. I think I have another photo of Layla. Let me check. Oh wait, I think I'm going to use one of the photo that I took during fashion week. Maybe this one. You can see my nipple in it. let me airdrop this photo to my laptop. One second. Okay, so I have this photo here of me. What I will need to do is I'm going to repeat what I did earlier. I'm going to separate this layer. I'm going to mask out me from the background. It always does a good job on masking out. Oh, something's happening here. Let me see. I'll just mask out this area, maybe. My head is fine, you know, sometimes you have the head is going on, it's fine because my wing is only gonna come out from this side. So I'm not gonna worry about the head. But this, I'm going to make this look better. Okay, overall it looks good. I'm going to copy this layer and paste it. I'm going to delete this original layer. Okay, so I'm going to export it to my AMC. Export. Okay, so what I will need to do now is to actually drag this original image. So the image that's with the background. I'm going to drag it here, and I'm going to say replace the replace with to fit, right? And then it will automatically replace this images without shortening this timeline. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to replace this one here. I'm going to replace to fit. Okay, now that looks good. And for this one, I don't really need a shadow, so I'm going to delete this one here, and I'm going to distort it again. Okay, now when you play the video, it will be moving here. And what you need to do is to actually export this video out. I'm going to export the other one instead. Undo, perfect. And I'm going to go to File and Export, Share. And I'm going to share Apple device. And next, I'm going to put it in AMC folder and save. See, once you're done, there you go. Super simple, super easy, and that's pretty much it. Thank you so much.